was involved a lot last week. Anytime you lose that type of guy that can do all the things he could do, it hurts you. But I trust in the guys that'll be out there to go out there and play if they need be.
We're not going to be talking to Coach Arians today, and I know we'll get an injury report later, but did Gronk come out to practice? I know we didn't see him early on.
I don't talk about players and their injuries. That's a BA question.
Okay. I know he wasn't in the today.
Byron, you're close to Tom, obviously, his last 2 years. I know he prepares the same, kind of get a veneer, right? But can you imagine as a former player going back to a place that meant as much as this did to him, what emotions he may have to settle before he plays the game?
Yeah, it's probably going to be different. I imagine it's going to be different. I remember I went back to Jacksonville. Thank God I was a backup when I went back. But, yeah, it's going to be different. Such familiarity to him up there, right? I mean, what they did together for 20 years is unique and special. So it's supposed to be emotional, to be honest with you. That's how it's really supposed to be. When you accomplish what, they accomplish up there, it will be emotional. It has no way around that. But Tom's a pro. Knowing him, he'll be ready to play his best football when we get up there.
Yeah. What's it mean for you guys to get AB back? Obviously, a huge impact week one. It hurts anytime you don't have one of the main guys out there. So what's that mean for this offense, getting him back this week?
It helps. Gives us another guy who is constantly winning out there when he's running routes. A guy that you always want to get the ball in his hands because the unique things that he do with it when he got it in his hands. So he's special before the ball gets to him. He's special once it gets to him. So anytime you have an opportunity to have him out on the grass, it's better for you as a team.
Byron, as much success as you guys have had through the air, this seems like a week where you might be able to establish the run more consistently than the first 3 games. How important is that?
I think it's important. As obviously we got to do better. I think I can do a better job, too, of helping out the run game. Obviously, last week it made it tough, just the situation. But we'll try to get better at everything. One thing I know about this group, we bring issues up. We try to correct them. We normally do a good job of correcting them. So we're just trying to make sure we're getting the hat on the hat in the run game, making sure we're doing all the right things from an assignment standpoint to give our backs the opportunity to make yards when they run it.
Penalties have crept back on this team. It's been an issue the first 3 games, penalties. How do you coach or correct the pre-snap things?
Easily. You tell them what's wrong, you communicate. It's really communication, right? When you think of pre-snap penalties all the time, it's communication. And it doesn't really matter who it comes from, right? It can come from any position group. Anybody can be responsible. So we just try to put them in enough situations so they have to over-communicate. Communication is going to be big, especially when you're on the road. It's going to be loud Sunday night. So we just got to continue to communicate. As long as we're all on the same page, we'll work everything out. So it's all about communication, to be honest with you.
Coach Arians was asked about this yesterday, and I'm curious to hear your take. Belichick said that the passing game that you guys are running here is like the same thing Tom ran for the last 20 years, his whole career. Running game is, of course, different. But, how do you as a coach then, with knowing that your opponent knows you that well, like how do you kind of game plan, to go against these guys? Are there new wrinkles that you've got just hidden in your back pocket just waiting to throw out? Or what?
There used to be a time y'all say we wasn't doing that. Remember that? So that's something, ain't it? It had to come from Bill. I guess this one thing I say about it, we all got the same concepts. We all do the same things. I didn't hear the comment really or notice the comment, so I can't really comment further. But in the NFL, you cut the tape on, you see really the all same concepts through every team. So, I mean, obviously you do what the quarterback does best. You put them in position to win and have success regardless of the play. So, I mean, we're going to go out here and prepare, try our best to be ready for Sunday night, and we'll see.
Does anything on their defense stand out to you?
Obviously, anytime you play that defense, how well coached they are, how multiple they are up front, no matter, 20 years ago, it seemed like the same guys, just different numbers. It almost looked like the same bodies, the same type of bodies. So obviously they like a certain type of player, a certain type of body type on defense. They're always smart. They're always smart. You never see them making a mistake. You never see them making a bonehead play. That's why they had the success that they've had. They're a well-coached team. They're always prepared to play, so it should be fun Sunday night. It's a challenge for anybody that play against them to make sure you're on your homework, make sure you're doing everything you need to do to have success. That's what makes it fun. That's what's going to make Sunday night fun. You know you're going against a good opponent who's well coached. You get an opportunity to test and see where you're at.
This year, Tom has said that, you know, he knows exactly what they're going to do to him, right? He's been in those meetings. He knows everything. The game's decided by players and not coaches. But having said that, is there an advantage for the quarterback or the coaching staff about who knows who better? I mean, no one's been in one place for 20 years.
Yeah, this is unique, right? This is something that's probably never happening again, right? This is probably never happening again. I'm quite sure they know each other well. I mean, I've been around somebody 20 years, you know them well, you know, so especially what they've been through and the success and they've had together. So I'm quite sure they know each other well. We're just going to prepare, and we're just going to go play a football game, try to play our best football Sunday night.
Is he more helpful than ever? I mean, I know he works together with a game plan, but can he tell you more this week than ever?
We'll see. We'll see.
You said that it's supposed to be more emotional. It's supposed to be emotional when you have the success of those two guys, Tom and Bill.
But just the track record for 20 years of them being together that long.
And obviously the quarterback position is so, you know, it's so cerebral, and you've got to keep your emotions in check. So how do you do that when, you know, you walk through the tunnel and those memories start flooding back to you, and you hear the crowd noise?
Well, I don't think this would be his first emotional game. I think being in the games that he's played in, being in the moments that he's been in, I think he'll handle his emotions well, to be honest with you. He always does, so I wouldn't expect nothing less. I expect it to be a little different for him. It got to be. That don't mean anything. It's probably different before the game, before the snap. Once the game's kicked off, I'm quite sure football will turn into football. That's for all football players. You'll lock in and try to execute and play well on the football field. But I'm quite sure before and after it'll be emotional.
Okay, the last question.
How does somebody, Tom Moore said, Coach Moore said that he does a good job of compartmentalizing those things. It's so much easier said than done, though. Like, how does one quarterback like you who plays the position, the highest level, how do you compartmentalize those feelings and just walk into the game?
To imagine that Tom Brady can't control his emotions is.
No, I'm not imagining. I'm just asking how, as a layperson that has never been in that position.
I think all these guys are professional athletes. It's hard to get to this level of sports, to get to this level at doing anything. So all these guys are pretty good at handling emotions because that's part of getting to this level, getting to this league, being a part of this league year in and year out. It's an emotional game, week in, week out, day in and day out. And I think for the most part, all these guys do a good job from an emotional standpoint, getting themselves ready. The ultimate thing is to get ready to play a football game, and I think he'll be fine doing that.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys. I got it. Hello?
How are you doing?
Good.
Tom, you're going up against a defense that you practice against extensively. How difficult is it to prepare for them? Guys like 40, Hightower, Jones, who kind of know your tendencies and know what you like to do with the ball in certain situations. How difficult has it been to prepare for them other than a normal opponent this week?
I think it's probably most difficult to play against them. I think preparing is one thing. I think playing is a whole nother thing. So they're a lot of great players, obviously well coached. They all play hard, tough, smart. I know those guys really well. So they're great friends. It'll be fun to compete against them. Starting on the practice field quite a bit. But obviously a game's going to be quite a bit different.
Tom, Byron was talking about, obviously you played in emotional games before, like a Super Bowl. I guess how would that compare? It's not the magnitude, clearly, of playing for the Lombardi, right? But I guess how would you compare the emotions of going back to a familiar place to, like, maybe other emotional games you played in?
I'm not sure. I haven't done it yet. So, you're right. I played in a lot of big games. This is a big game for our team, a big game for our guys. We had a tough loss last week. We want to get back on track, get back to winning. We got to do things the right way. Obviously, this team challenges you to do it the right way. They do a lot of difficult things for the offense. So, it's going to be a big challenge for us.
Visualization is such a big part of your game and what you do. Have you visualized some of those little things, like just running through the opposing tunnel and being in the opposing locker room and hearing the fan reception? Have you thought about some of those things and visualized them at all?
Not much. Just again, I try to just be like I said the other day, I always feel like I put 100% into it. So, I use the time as wisely as I can and try to just do what I always do and communicate with our guys, try to put us in the best position to be successful. That thing's really annoying. Oh my God.
This is obviously
Is that every day?
It's like you're having to block out any emotions. We have to block out the noise. You know?
And this is obviously a very emotional week for you. You're going to look out the sideline, not just everyone wants to make it Brady versus Belichick, but there's also relationships. Josh McDaniels, Slates, David Andrews, all those guys. How do you manage those emotions without even getting into the fact that you could be the NFL's all-time passing leader after this game?
I haven't thought too much about it. I just going to try to do what I always do. Go be a great quarterback. Obviously understand the opponent, and I know all those guys. They're some of my great friends. They will be for the rest of my life. So I know a lot of coaches, players, the owners, the staff. It'll be great to see everyone after the game, but up until game, I'm focused on trying to go win a football game.
I don't know how much you've seen of Mac Jones, but just your initial impressions of him.
I haven't seen him much at all. Yeah.
You reached a hoarseness in your voice. You were yelling over the piped-in voice.
Yeah, that was loud today. So I don't know. I've had a few of these days. I don't know what the deal is. So I got to try to figure this out. I said my throat's more tired than my arm. Imagine that.
We went through this during the summer.
Same thing. I know. It came back. I know. Very strange. Something must be a little up. I know. I can't explain it. So
Let me see.
yeah,
Tom, how
I'm
much
on it.
advantages it for you to I know there's been some personnel on this team that you're going to see on Sunday?
They're really well coached. Obviously they got a lot of great players, smart players. They're going to be in the right spot. They prepare really well. Obviously being there for a long time, I know how well they prepare, and I think you put great preparation with great players, it makes for a great defense. And they have one of the great defenses in the league. And Dante and Kyle, Jawan, Matt Judon's a great player. Obviously, the guys up front, Lawrence, Dietrich, I know those guys really well. John Jones, Devin, Kyle Duger, Adrian, JC's a great player. Jalen Mills I played against. So I'm pretty familiar with kind of, who they are, what they do. We just got to go do a great job against it. But they're going to make it challenging. It's going to be a very, very, very tough game.
Tom, you reached out to Richard Sherman to get into your veteran guy jumping into a new situation. You did last year, and he said he has his "I'm still mad, bro" jersey signed and is safe. Just what is your relationship with him been like over your course of your career?
Yeah, it's great. I like Richard a lot. So got to know him on that one particular day out there. He was kind of young and brash and excitable, so I threw him a pick. That was the problem. I should never have tried him, but I didn't quite know the scouting report as well as I should have. He made a great interception. He was a Stanford wide receiver, made him a DB. Obviously, he's great against go routes, and I tried to throw him one at the seam to Deion Branch, so kind of regret that throw.
He's not the only young, brash player where it seems like you kind of have a connection. I mean, Jalen Ramsey, you guys seem like you guys would jaw quite a bit when you're squared off. And we saw on NFL.com posted that video of you guys. I mean, it seems like you have an affinity for some of those kind of players.
Yeah, we have a cool fraternity of guys. It's like I think there's a great to make it to this point in the NFL. You got to be a great guy. You got to work hard. Got to be a real professional. And then you see the guys that are really consistent year in year out. They even take it to another level. And I think when I see that from a young player, I think I have a lot of appreciation for that because I know how challenging that is. And there's a lot of things that tug at you. There's a lot of things that change as you get older. But the guys that could stay really consistent with it end up, widening the gap between a lot of the other players because they just mature, they learn mentally and emotionally. And then physically, you got to maintain your skill level as long as you can. So a lot of those guys have done that.
Tom, will you have family there Sunday night? What's your ticket request situation been like?
A lot. First 4 weeks have been tough on me. The home opener and then California Patriots. So after this, I'm like done for the year. I'm tired of it. So maybe that's the problem with my voice.
I was going to say, what about Dad? Because you threatened to put him in a home.
I know.
Very relatable, but did you block week, or how much have you heard from him?
Not much. I think he took the warning, so he's going to keep it nice and quiet.
Tom, Bill was extremely complimentary of you this week. It's not typical of him, although this isn't a typical week for him to be that complimentary of an opponent, but it's you. When you look back on your time with him, what do you appreciate the most about Bill Belichick?
I mean, he's a great coach, obviously a great coach, and has everyone prepared, does a great job of that. And obviously, I said before, taught me a lot, was a great mentor for me for a long time. And I really enjoyed my time in New England. And but at the same time, super excited about what we've done here. I got a great group of coaches here, an amazing group of guys that still motivate me and inspire me to be the best I could be for this team and this organization. And I've just had the last 18 months have been very fulfilling in a lot of different ways, and I love my football experience here as well. So I've been very blessed. I went high school football where I fell in love with that. I went to Michigan, which was amazing for me. Had its challenges, but I learned a lot. 20 years in New England was incredible. I learned a lot. Coming out here for a year and a half, I've learned a lot. So I have nothing but incredible thoughts, memories, emotions towards all the kind of football experiences I've had. And that's obviously one that was the longest. And I still have a lot of great friends there, but they know I want to kick their butt this week. So they'll know exactly how I'm feeling once I'm out there.
When you left up there, you met with Robert Kraft. Do you still know why Belichick didn't meet with you in person, why he took a phone call instead?
All those things are super personal. We had a great relationship. I think everything was handled the right way. We handled everything as gracefully as we could. It was an amazing, like I said, time, and it was handled perfectly. I think everyone understood, where we're at, the people involved in the situation, and things worked out for the best for all of us, and we're all trying to do the best we could do now. It's what happens in life. You go through these experiences, you don't know what life's going to lead. And I think the only thing I know how to do is give it all I can, in every day, moment. And the people who really bet on me, and I want to do really well for them. And Jason and Bruce, I think them coming into my life and, saying, hey, we really want you to be here, has been an amazing thing for me. So I'm just excited to go up there and try to beat a really great football team. That's ultimately what this week's about. It's not about the quarterback. It's not about, the fans or the home crowd or relationships of 20 years. It's about two good football teams going at it, and we got to do a great job. It's going to be a huge test. Last week was a huge test. We didn't quite meet it. This is another huge test. We got to go meet the challenge. Thank you, guys. My voice.